What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Good Bad Guy Podcast, and I'm your host, Reg4sho.
And your boy Joe Capone.
Yes, sir. New York State of Mind. Before we bring in our guest, our brand new guest, Billy, today, and me and Joe, we wanted to talk about a little phrase, what that New York State of Mind really meant to us. New York State of Mind is bigger than basketball. You know, it's about growing up in New York. It's about the hustle. It's about the um, resilience, surviving tough situations, and I don't know, man. You know, I was born and raised in Haiti, and I can honestly say, Brooklyn had shaped, the man that I became today. So I always feel like wherever I go, that New York energy stays with me. You know what I'm saying? So it never leaves you, really. You know, wherever we go, we
Yep.
proudly say we're from New York, and so I don't know about you.
Yeah,
What that
definitely,
really meant to
definitely.
you?
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. That New York State of mind, lived it. Going to school, you got to be tough. You real young, walking to school by yourself. It's a
Hmm.
lot of stuff like that. Like, being somewhere else, seeing that. Like, damn, in New York, I was going to school like that. Being younger than that, they getting picked up by the school bus and stuff. I was like, so New York really do build you up a little bit, build some toughness with you. Because you got to learn how to do stuff real early. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
yeah, man, it's definitely really sometime it helped me through a lot of stuff. Just being from New York,
Be a
being
tough skin. I
aware of
mean,
stuff. You
you know.
gotta be on
Uh,
swivel, you know what I'm saying? So much people to deal about, like
And also, it's the Mecca. You know, it's just like this is a really ground place. Like if it can make you and break you at the same time. You know, so
yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
us, from the island, I could say that it's our plus for us because it's like they built us for that type of life. And whether
Mm-hmm.
it's tough, whether it's hard, we still go through it. You know what I'm saying? And then that's pretty much it. And right now, bro, the city is buzzing because Knicks are closer to the championship. What the series is, what, 3-1. It's been a decade. So today we're talking New York basketball, life lessons, coaching, acting,
Mm-hmm.
and what this woman really meant to the city. Also, this is our 10th
10th episode.
episode, Joe. Can you believe that, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you, my brother. You already know that without you, this wouldn't be
We're here.
possible. I'm
We're
always
here. We're
gonna
taking
thank
off.
you. I'm always gonna thank you because it's always playing my head, like playing my
Mm-hmm.
head. I'm like, bro, let's record in this shit. Let's record in this shit. Like, bro, leave me alone. Like, leave me alone.
Don't be a waste man. Put your talent to use.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And then now, bro, so Joe, for the first time, we have our brand new guest. His name is
Yes, sir.
Billy. He's just a family of the show. We have a lot of respect for him. He has a lot of experience. He's a real New Yorker, born and raised, and
Super
he's
New York fan.
absolutely. In the meantime, so we're still waiting for Billy to come on. So how do you feel
Game
about game three, man? I was really
man.
upset, to be honest with you. My energy was down before the game even
Trump
started.
ruined game three, man. Trump came through, man. The whole energy, the whole taking up. We needed the energy around the garden, son. Like,
Billy Gooder. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, thank you for coming
What's
in,
going on,
bro.
fellas?
Thank you for coming in, bro. It's been a long time coming, and
definitely.
we here, bro. How you feeling, brother? How you feeling?
Feeling good. I can't
First and
complain.
foremost,
I'm feeling good. Knicks
Good,
got one
good.
more to go.
Hey,
definitely.
I hear that. I hear that, my
Yes,
brother.
sir.
So again, welcome to a Good Bad Guy podcast. You know what I'm saying? And as I was telling you, a family of the show. We definitely got to
Mhm.
introduce you, but if it wasn't for us, we would just throw you in there, just to throw you in there. And so before we get into the talking Knicks, before we talk
Right.
into the coaching, before we talking to the acting, and when you hear when you hear the words New York State of Mind, what does that mean to you? What first comes to mind?
All right. Well, New York state of mind for me is always going to be the fact that growing up in New York, navigating through New York, it's about being locked in, always being prepared for, the unexpected. Nothing surprises you, and just being ready. You're always like you're literally locked in 100% at all times. There's no
Always on
taking.
swivel.
Yeah. There's no moment to take a break. There's no time off. There's no days off. You're locked in 24/7. That is a New York state of mind. We're ready, we're hustling, and we're always thinking outside the box because you just never know.
Definitely. Yep, you
Survival of
summed
the
it up.
fittest.
Mhm.
You summed it
They
up.
go home
Yo,
and you do
it's
whatever man you want.
1997, right? You got $2. What you getting from the corner store?
For $2. Wait. What season is it?
We
Because
summertime, summertime,
summertime. All right, I
summertime.
got two
You went to the
dollars.
corner store, $2. Summertime, 1997.
1997. I'm gonna get me a bag of chips.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get me a honey bun.
Yes, sir.
Probably get me a quarter water juice.
Ah,
Obviously, it's hot outside. Of summertime. I'm gonna get me two ices. That's me.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's
I
it.
think you got a quarter left.
I know. I was gonna say I still got change left. I'll see what I do with it.
Yeah. Yes,
Probably.
sir.
Yeah. Nah. I'll probably stay with that. That'll be it for
Wow.
me. Maybe another
See how
bag of
times
chips.
see how times change, right? That's crazy. I was explaining that to my son the other day, like what I was able to do with $2 in New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
If you added
saying?
50 cents, I'd have gotten me some wings and some French fries from the Chinese spot.
I know, right? Like they don't understand.
250.
Definitely,
So,
man.
so Billy, quick question for you. You know, I've been working on this for you because I got to make sure I got all the question out before I do. You know, get into the thing. So now you lived through a lot of Knicks season, so I know that you're from New York for sure. What makes this team different from the others that we've seen before?
I gotta be honest with you. I don't think they are. I don't think they're different. Like looking back on our 17 win seasons, looking back in '99 when we went to the final, looking back in
Mhm.
'95 against Houston, I feel like every one of those teams, including this one, um, was a team that was going to grind. They're going to work hard. They're going to work through everything. The only difference is they're winning. They they have a different sense of grit and talent that allows them to prevail, even even in their darkest moments. Um, I don't know, being a real Knick fan, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's like we played really good for the first three quarters. And then fourth quarter is just like we were fighting to hold on. We were fighting to hold on. And
Yeah.
I mean, this team comes out the same way. They come out gritty. They come out ready to go. They're unified. They're working hard. They're a team. Nobody wants to see them, right? But they got Captain Clutch. I think that's what makes the difference. That guy that's gonna put that team on your back in the
Mm-hmm.
fourth quarter in the last 5 minutes and make it happen. Allen Houston, great shooter. Great leader, but he wasn't a closer for us, right? And
Mhm.
we had big moments like with John Starks, Larry Johnson, Sprewell that carried us through '99. But and let me not forget Carmelo, because he did his thing while he was here and he held us
Man,
down major.
Shout out
But
to Melo. We
Melo,
got to give
Melo
him
yeah,
some
held
shout
you
out
shout
to
out.
Melo
down.
100%. But it's just like if we didn't have that, we just didn't have that fourth quarter lockdown presence, and Melo couldn't do it all on his own. He didn't really have the supporting cast that all these other teams that I'm talking about had. And
Mhm.
and when Pat missed that layup in what is it, '95, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think I'm right. And then he was injured for '99. He had that ruptured Achilles. So it's just like I don't think that they were that much different. I just
Mhm.
think it's our time. More than
Hey,
ever before is
Right.
that time. And I know I'm a fan. They're like, oh, every time was your time. You're right, but I just think the way the universe is set up right now, the moons and the stars, the planets, I just feel like it's our time. And Brunson makes a hell of a difference in closing out the game.
Well,
yes,
if
sir.
you if from a New York State of my point of view, I think Knicks fan think we gonna win it every year, every season, even though we're doing the worst. I think that we think
Bro,
I,
yo, we
I
are
can assure you as a lifelong Nick fan, that ain't true.
bro.
I
Okay.
wanted that.
Yo,
I wanted us to win, but I,
Okay.
I I
let me
started some
tell you,
seasons
man.
knowing like it's gonna be a long one. Yeah.
Yo,
Go
Knicks
ahead,
fans
Joe.
are like the most loyalist, dumbest fans ever. We don't care. Every year we gonna win, even if we know we're not gonna win. Especially in the years of the. Let me ask you a question, Bill. Like, you think the super team affected other teams like being able to shine, like the super team era? Because we did just go through a super team era, and I really like this era of basketball. Like, I think all the teams is kind of equal for the most part now.
I mean,
What you-
most definitely. I mean, you think about it when we growing up watching games in the '80s and the '90s. they didn't really build teams, right? You had that one franchise player. Maybe if you were lucky, you had a second all-star, right? The league
Mm-hmm.
was way more competitive. Like, you stood with your team, and there was that loyalty that you stood with them the whole career, and you try to make it work. I felt like it made it more fun. The matchups were more fun. That's when superstars guarded superstars, right? Like, it
Exactly.
wasn't like,
Mm.
but yeah, it kind of has mellowed out a tad. Like, there aren't many super teams left, and I feel like the league has been more fun and more unpredictable because of it. So yeah, I agree with you 100% on that for sure.
Nobody's getting
Mhm.
jumped no more.
Nah,
It's a
nah.
fair one now. It's a fair one.
For now, for now.
We're not jumping people no more, LeBron.
Why you gotta throw LeBron in there? Come on, man.
For
Yo,
now, ain't
honestly
nobody
though,
getting
yo,
jumped for
another
now.
thing, another
Hmm.
thing. Yo,
Yeah,
shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. I think like
they showed up.
losing and then they coming out and they performed at the halftime. I felt
Mhm.
like sitting there listening to all that Wu-Tang song. Like, don't you think you're supposed to come out blazing the next? Like, you're not supposed to be losing that game, bro. Yo, shout out to Wu-Tang Clan, bro. Like, what you think? What you think about that?
I
Like,
mean,
cause people listen to music to get themselves hyped up all the time. You
energy.
losing, it's halftime, and Wu-Tang is performing, dude.
Well, I say this: energy is contagious. I mean,
That's a
energy
fact.
can be cancerous, or it can be, exhilarating. It just all depends. So with the right energy, you get that caught, and it multiplies. Like, that's why they say one what is it? One bad apple rottens the bunch, and that's a fact. So, and that's why I think it's, makes our team so great. Like, we're all locked in. We're all one. Well, we're all working in
Yeah.
unison as one, and it just makes it powerful. Some days, Bridges is gonna step up. Some days it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be hard. Some nights, and
Mm-hmm.
OG did his thing, 33 the other night. So it's just like that's hard to scout, right? When you don't know who's gonna be the second guy. Brunson gonna get his, right? That's our
Mm-hmm.
dog. Carl gonna do his thing. But then after that, like, who is it? Not knowing who that's gonna be night in and night out. That's hard to scout. It just really is.
And yo,
You know.
honestly, that has been the difference between these games. Like, who's going to be that X factor? Who? And we got OG. I think Bridges was shining one game, kept hitting. He was like 7 for 7,
Hmm.
and then
Right.
Alvarado. So it's.
Hmm.
I think it's about that. The big X factor.
Right.
That's how we're going to win, by that X
Right.
factor
Right.
player.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
we just need to get out there and have like all of them be locked in that night, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Everybody scores 15. How about that?
All right. Definitely. Yeah,
All
that'd
right.
be good too. But we down by one, about to take the lead, and Hart
Mhm.
misses that layup. What was your
Right.
feeling? How you felt right there?
Man, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm resilient. What you talking about?
What happened? Did you throw something at the TV? What happened? You thought it
the
was
first thing
over? How did
the
you
first thing
feel?
the first thing that came to my mind was Patrick Ewing missing that layup. Like, oh shit, here we go again. Oh
Oh,
man, not
Ewing.
again. Like,
Ewing
I'm gonna
traumatized
be
us.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't really moved. I knew there was a lot of game left, and I was just like, damn, homie, like, you missed that. Like, took a deep breath,
Wasn't.
but it had me on the edge. I'm sitting there like at the edge of the seat, like, oh man, what we doing? What we doing? What we doing? But I didn't think it was over yet. Honestly, I didn't think I was yeah, knocked the wind out of me a little bit, but I wasn't completely moved. I was still
I
in the
know it
fight.
did
Let's
to
just say that
everybody.
I was still in the fight.
Mhm.
I was definitely
Yes,
still in the
yes, yes,
fight.
yes. I
Yeah.
felt like that too. I was like, yeah, I think we still gonna be able to pull it off. But we did have a little more. But I was like, yo, if we lose, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's no different than when Brunson missed that free throw in the fourth quarter, that game before that we won. Was it when he missed the free throw and then we scrambled back a few seconds later, we ended up winning. What,
Yo,
what game was
like,
that?
I think, what was it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think,
We was like, he needed to hit those two. He only
yeah,
made
yeah,
one.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
remember that. I
and we
remember
still
that.
won. So it
yo,
just keeps
that
you on the
3-pointer
edge.
Brunson shot, that three
Oh,
pointer
that
he
was ice
shot to win
cold.
the game. Thank God OG was there to clean up. But if that 3-pointer would have went in, yo, the garden would have blew up, bro. The garden would have blew up, bro. They're like,
Oh yeah.
Bro, he was from far. I was like, yo, he gonna make
But
he
forget how
pushed
far
back.
he was. There was a 7-footer
Yo,
diving at him, arms stretched completely out. What are
yo,
you talking about? Like,
he was just an
Man.
inch away, bro.
And
It
he
oh.
hit
came
the
out of
front.
nowhere. He
It
came out
hit
with the
the
moment.
front cylinder.
The,
Yo,
So
anyone.
that's the part. That's the part that like it it drives me crazy because I feel like that's ego basketball, right? Just being a coach, being a former player is just like
Mhm.
you're down by one, you got 7 seconds. There's no way I don't tell one of my players to go to the hole, get fouled, get hit, try to score. Don't get me wrong, but we shouldn't be settling a game
Yeah,
off of a
I
jump
ain't gonna
shot.
lie. That was
Off
a
of a
bad
jump shot. I
shot.
don't care if it's Steph Curry.
Mhm.
You don't take a jump shot with 7 seconds left and you're down by one. You gotta
Yeah,
go to the basket, get fouled, get hit a free
That's
throw,
true.
tie the game, hit another
That's true.
free throw, win the game. But you gotta get
yeah,
hit.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
what I will say is playing devil's advocate, right? I thought about it. I'm like, man, they they throw so much at Brunson. They're gonna force the ball out his hands. He's gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to scramble. He's gonna have to backtrack. The length alone, pause. It disrupts the game so much. It's just like I get it. I get why you chucked it up, but it's just like
Mm-hmm.
we needed somebody to just go to the basket, right? On
That
on
no,
a
we definitely
basketball
did.
IQ setup, like there's no way you take a jump shot for that. He did that in the playoffs earlier this season. We lost by one, where he took like a mid range, and I'm like, bro, we're down by one. It's a couple seconds left in the game. Go to the basket. Let them foul you. You're a phenomenal free throw shooter. Get fouled. To me, I never understood that, and I just feel like that's ego basketball. But that's the NBA today. That's not the Knicks. That's everybody. It's the same reason we on a 2-on-1 and they shooting a three. I'll never understand it.
Yeah,
Like, you're
definitely.
supposed to
And
spread the
then
defender out and go for the dunk. But
Yeah.
speaking of coach, as a coach, right? What do you
right.
see in this Knicks team that casual fans that miss, like might miss?
What do I see with the Knicks team that okay, well that's simple.
Mhm.
And I'd say a lot of teams don't have that across all levels of basketball, high school, college, semi-pros, pros is again what we talked about earlier, the unison. Like what makes the Knicks so good right now is how well they play together. Like in every team that you see, no matter how dominant they are, generally you're looking at the ball and you're like, okay, this is their guy, this is their guy for this is their guy for that, and it's like you hope that they all put it together. But most teams are beatable because they rarely put their arsenal together correctly. It's like there's this
Yeah.
ego here. I need to take these shots when if you know you're a low post guy, get away from the 3-point line. Like work with your strengths and work together. I feel like the Knicks are really good at that. They know what their roles are and they
Mhm.
play them, right? And
Mhm.
I'm not to say that we don't have a superstar or maybe two, right? But we also know what we expect from them and they produce that every night. You dig what I'm saying? We know that Hart and OG they're gonna try to get our rebounds, they're gonna get our second chance points. They're gonna get they're gonna be the guys that's gonna slash to the basket and stuff like that. We know that Bridges is our defensive guy. Like, and it's like everybody knows their role and they play it to a T as one. What makes this team so much good to me more than the Knicks from last season with Thibodeau is that I feel like Mike Brown he's empowered his bench.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
something that I see that I don't know if everybody else saw, right? Like, so
Mhm.
last season, the bench was the bench. They barely came in the game. They barely helped. And as you can see through these playoffs, we need our bench. And our bench has
Yep.
been huge for us. Shamit has destroyed this season for us, this playoff season for us. Let's not even talk
Shaman.
about Alvarado, right? Like he's been doing so much for us off the bench, but that comes from coaching. That comes from coaching because we
Yeah.
didn't have those players last year. We were burning out our stars, our starters, and they didn't
Mm-hmm.
have it for the fourth quarter. They gave all that they got, and we came up short every time. What's different now that maybe the average fan doesn't see is the unison and the help from our bench. Mike Brown has empowered our bench. When they come off the court, they're not playing like bench players. They're not playing like, oh, I got 2 minutes. They're playing like they're starters. They're playing confident. So to me, that's what really, really stood out for us in this
That's
playoff run
good.
that we've had this season, and opposed to last season and previous seasons where we came up short in the playoffs.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there.
Good,
Definitely.
good.
Yeah,
Another thing.
Mhm.
Bridges. Bridges had a slump. Everybody was
yeah.
on his back. Get rid
I
of
I was
Bridges.
I was one of them. I was one of
Yeah.
them to be
Even
honest.
Mm.
Pudgy Boy. Pudgy was like,
Shout
get
out
rid
to
of Bridges.
Purchase.
Everybody was going after Bridges. Now
Right.
Bridges. What we think about Bridges right now?
Well, I'm a Nick fan and he's a Knicker, so I got nothing but love for
we
him.
we
But
we thinking how we expect him to be all season long.
but
but
let's keep
yeah,
in
that's
mind. Let's keep in mind he's a human being, right?
yeah.
And we don't know what's going on with him outside of basketball,
Yeah, I
but
was saying
you
he
know,
probably got some gal problem.
but here's the thing though, this is his job, right? Like I got
Thank
issues
you.
when I
I
go
was
to my
going to get to
job.
that.
Nobody knows that, right? I'm still, hey, how you doing, Bill? Everything's good. I'm smiling. It doesn't matter what I left at the door. And I feel like he has to learn to distinguish that as a professional who's getting paid millions and billions and millions of dollars. Like,
Yeah, man.
come on, you
I
got to
get
be a
it, but that's
professional.
not
But
fair. Cause
but
he
what
got
I
to
will
shoot
say
over
is
seven
this.
footers.
What I will
No,
say
that has
is
nothing to do
this.
with nigga. Come do your
What
job.
what
That's
I
what we
will say
want.
is this. His
So
job, at least the job I've seen of him, generally is the defensive side of the game, right? That's why he got all the money from the Knicks. That's why he got
Hmm.
over here. That's why they picked him up. And he's been doing a great job throughout the season and most of the playoffs, right? Well, you know
Hmm.
what? I say all of the playoffs defensively. The offensive side of his game was a plus for us, but we also
Right.
needed it. And
yeah, that's true.
I feel like he comes and he goes, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. But
Hmm.
someone needs to put him in a corner and let him know, like, listen, we know that you're here for the defense. You've done a phenomenal job with that, but it's time to evolve. Like you trying to be a champion. And champions, you don't wake up a champion. You grind, you work hard, and you got to evolve. And as a
Yeah,
professional, and as someone who's shown us that you can evolve, that you can score, that you can have 25 and shooting 6 for 8 from the field, from the 3 point line,
yeah.
like you can do
His
these
mid
things.
range.
You know what I mean? And I'm not even sure who his matchup is right now for the Spurs. Who does he match up against? Because he's been putting
Uh,
most guys
He probably
in the
got Vassal.
right. That's what I'm saying.
no,
He's
no,
been
no.
putting
Is it the other one? The one with the dread. I forgot his name.
who not
He gets
Vassal, not
Champagne
Castle, Vassal.
is
he
Vassal.
gets
It's
busy.
Vassal.
Is
Bottom
it
line
okay?
is
That's so. Yeah.
he's
Okay.
been good. He's
Okay.
been good with being able to put people down, back him down for that little mid range. Like he's all money all season. I haven't seen him try that in the playoffs. And maybe the game is moving a little fast
Yeah, you're
offensively.
right.
Maybe,
He did used to do that.
right, but we gotta. I also feel like we also gotta get him there, right? Because it's like they're double. I don't know if y'all realize it, but they're doubling and tripling Jalen
Brunson.
Brunson, and then
Yes.
what they do is they break out into a zone for
Hmm.
the other players, right? So when they break
Hmm.
out into the zone, it covers the passing angles, which is why it's so hard to pass the ball in. So the only way around that is if the offense is moving, because now the zone can't stay where the zone is. They have to move. They got to get to the ball, and the Spurs is doing a great job, like having two guys here and then dropping into a zone to play the passing lanes. You got to move. I feel like Bridges hasn't been actively moving and cutting and slashing the way he did most of the season. Hart's doing it, OG is doing it here and there, but in the games that were really close, and not just against the Spurs throughout our playoff runs or the games that we lost, I noticed that our offensive movement at times were stagnant. Not always, but at times. I think Bridges needs to start moving more on offense because that's how he's going to get his opportunities. And once he sees
Hmm.
that ball go in the hole, then you'll still he'll get more confident in probably creating for himself. But until then, he's gonna be hit or miss. That's just what it is.
See, my thing is with him is like I don't know. I like I was telling Joe, I was like I rather him coming off the bench because I see him when he come off the bench. It's like the energy that he come, the animosity that he brings, and
Mhm.
he always make those shots coming
Yeah,
from
his mid
Brooklyn. You know what I
range.
mean? And that was my thing. And then there are couple of the position that he had where he was wide open and he missed those shots. And those are focal point of the game. And I feel like he was like one hit wonder, but I can't really say that about it because the guy really he played defense. You know what I mean? It's just like you were
Right.
saying, the offense. And I feel like personally, I don't know how you feel about him. I would rather him coming off the bench instead of having to start.
hmm
Because when
Well,
that was
well, I got
going,
two.
Who will you make
That
start if you putting
so
Bridges on
that's
the bench?
my first question. Yeah, my first. Who would you put on the bench on the starting lineup if not Bridges?
you know what? I never thought about that, to be honest with you. I never thought
Yeah.
about that. I was
hmm
just thinking
hmm
about him seeing him coming off the bench Brooklyn days, you know what I mean? Because I was
Right.
really I don't see anybody really. I would have said OG, but OG is a starter, you know what I mean?
Right.
What about Shaman?
Okay. Then we could have went Shaman, you know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
say him as
Okay.
five, but
So
he's too small.
Right.
that's what I'm about to say to y'all now. So, like for me, there's no way I don't start him, right? Because what y'all got to understand is I don't have him on the court for offense. We need him right now a little bit to help ease the pressure off of Brunson because they're making him the focal point defensively. But realistically, he's not there for the offense, right? We need him defensively. This dude is
Right.
6'6" with a
His
wingspan like almost
wingspan, you
seven
see how
feet,
long his
seven
arms is,
feet
bro?
tall, right? It's hard to get around him. He never gets tired. I don't know if y'all realize this, but the
Yeah, he
dude plays
don't.
more
He
minutes
don't. He
than
don't.
anybody else
Yeah,
because of his body structure.
I never seen him
Right.
like
So it's just
tired.
like the first question I would ask you is who would you replace him with? And okay, you say Shamit. Shaman ain't gonna play that lockup defense against
Yeah,
anybody the way he does.
yeah.
I'm not saying Shaman's not a great defender because he is. He's a dog,
Right. He's not
but
Mm-hmm.
Bridges
and
difference.
his length alone makes it so much harder. You dig what I'm
Yes.
saying? It makes it so much harder. He gets into everything: passing lanes, rebounds, offensive steals. Like he's a terror on defense. The offense was a plus for us throughout the season, and he did it. He did a great job.
He did so much for us, and then when he wasn't doing what he normally does, we got mad at him, like, "Oh, get rid
Right,
of him." But
right.
we wasn't
And
even expecting all of that.
And that's what I
I
was trying to
mean,
say. Like that was a plus for us, and we needed to just accept that as a bonus, right? And now we expect it all the time. But my thing is, like Reg was probably saying, if he was doing it the whole time, why isn't he doing it now? And I feel like that's all mental. New York Knicks fans are tough. I mean, he's reading the blogs, he's hearing the stuff, and that's probably chipping away at his confidence. It's making him second guess stuff. He just got to get out his head,
definitely.
and that's hard as a player. That is hard. You could be close to Jordan. If your confidence isn't there mentally, you're a nobody. And I've seen that with players, people. I've seen that with myself.
Mm-hmm.
You get into your own head and you can't hit
Yeah,
anything, not even a layup. So
yeah.
I'm glad you said that because you've coached people and you work in acting, right? So
right.
which one taught you more about dealing with people? Because like you said about him, I'm pretty sure as a coach, you know your players and you could tell
Mhm.
sometimes when they're going through some things. You know what I'm saying? Like how do you deal with that? Like how do you deal with your players? So if you feel like they're not leading up to their potential that they're capable of, like how do you deal with that?
All right, so you asked me two questions. So the first
Okay.
question was which one do I
Which
feel like I
one?
learned more in regards to
Right.
people, whether it be
Correct.
when I'm acting or when I'm
Correct.
coaching. And I'll tell you
Correct.
this, they both give me the ability to see what my inabilities are in how I respond to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, acting generally, I'm dealing with my own thought process, my own inners, where I can probably combat whatever I'm dealing with and feed off the energy of whoever else I'm talking to, or whatever dialogue that it is, right? Rarely is
Mhm.
it a multiple actor scene where I got all these different people coming at me with different dialogues. So I feel like that's easier um for me to focus on me and try to make sure I'm delivering, listening, receiving, responding, reacting all correctly. However, with coaching, it's a lot more difficult because you're right. I do have to read my players, try to see, oh, okay, something's wrong with him or something's wrong
Mhm.
with her or whoever, whatever
Mhm.
team it is.
Mhm.
But to answer your second part of the question, yes, coaching is harder in that capacity because there's so many more players, there's so much more moving parts. Um, but how I would fix that or how I approach that is to empower them. If I know something is wrong, you know, obviously the first thing I need to know is the personality of each player, right? So
Mhm.
if I have the player that I know, maybe he's a bit more sensitive, and it's usually the tough guys. They walk around, oh, I'm this coach, I'm that, whatever, but they're marshmallows on the inside, and the coach is gonna know that, right? Those are the guys that you have to appeal to their egos, right? So you might, hey, bro, what's wrong? Like, yo, come on, like, you're the best. Like, come on, the team is counting on you. All those great stuff, right? And then you got
Mhm.
my dogs, where I know something's wrong, and I'm like, listen, whatever's at the door, we talk about that after. We got a game to win. You ready? You locked in? You hit him in the chest, right? He's like, and coach, like, motivate them. But at the end of the day, it's empowering them. And with each individual, they're all different. And you have to know how to empower each one of them. That's what makes it so much harder as a coach, in opposed to, the acting aspect of it. But yeah, for me, it's gonna be empowering my players, however that is. And each one of
Facts.
them is gonna be a different approach, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Another thing,
Mhm.
Right.
the fans. What do you got to say to the fans of the New York Knicks?
Oh
Being a
man.
super Knicks
What do
fan,
you think
like
he gonna
I
say?
love the Knicks too, but you're a super Knicks fan, like what, like what's happening here, like.
Go Knicks. Nah, I'm be honest with you. Like, all right, guys, you're gonna judge me. I'm not perfect. All right, we listen, we don't judge, right?
We don't
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah,
So
yeah.
judge.
Yeah.
in any other normal situation, I would tell you, I think is way overboard. It's way too much. But for all the years that we have went to bed as kids crying, getting teased by everybody else, we losing, we losing, we losing. Like,
Oh
like I
man,
can't help but be
every year.
excited. I can't help but be screaming. Like, yeah, I want to drink. Yo, let me get it. Pour me up. Let's go. Like, let's celebrate. Like, I've been doing that. Like, listen, let me tell y'all something. I took the whole week off from work. I ain't been to work in like 6 days, and I'm not going back till Monday or Tuesday. And even then, I took a few more days off. Right? It's just
Yo,
like, what do I think about the fans? I think the fans are
hey,
amazing. I think they're beautiful. Do
yo,
I think do I think anybody needs to be hurt or hurting anybody? No, I don't condone the violence, right? But I mean,
of
like,
course
come on,
not.
man. You
Right.
play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. This is New York City. What you doing? You really
Yeah,
walking around like that? Like, I
for
mean,
real.
and it's come
I mean,
on,
we
man.
don't
For
we
real, yeah,
don't
yeah.
we don't condone it, one, but when you have other people that's trying to antagonize and win and trying to be the ops and make it like it's an issue,
You
then
know what I mean?
The
that video
streamers.
really gonna come out.
Exactly. That's
I
all
don't
right. So
care
this,
what streamers, screamers, whatever you want it. We
hey,
we we
hey,
not
I
playing
hope
that.
I hope you got your views when you got your butt kicked.
Hey,
That's all
yo,
I'm saying.
that's what I'm saying, yo.
You know.
Some people just talking about, yo, I'm about to wear this jersey and I'm about to go to New York, and then nobody
What?
gonna rip
What?
it off
What?
me.
Like,
And it's
come
like
on, homie.
5 minutes later, you see a nigga running from 500 people. Like, I'm like, don't
Nah,
do this. This is
it's
dangerous.
terrible.
Like,
It's
and yo,
terrible.
another thing, like real New York fans is like 35, 30 years older. We've been through all of it. It's probably not
All the
saying they don't
pain.
have
We've been through all the
young
pain.
New York fans, but the real New York, most of the real fans was in their bed. Besides the ones that was able to make it. So those little knuckleheads, it's just a lot of commotion going on. So they see if they could get some trouble real quick. Like, bro, I done seen it all. Look, this finals. I don't seen it all this finals, bro. Like, I see a Mary
Mm.
Reed like, yo, stop. You guys are messing up the streets. You messing up your own city. And he ended up getting in a fight. I was like, oh nah, you can't
So,
even. It's
so this is
over.
what I'll say. This is what I'll say about it, right? Like, obviously, this is a long time coming. We talking what 53 years since we won one, what
Mhm.
27 since we came close, right? We really weren't playoff contenders for a good portion of the 2000s, right? So I get wanting to celebrate, but in regards to like people talking about, oh, the fans are acting crazy, it's just a game, it's just a game. I get all that, I get all that, but at the same time, we got to be wise at times, right? It's like you grew up in the 80s and the 90s in Brooklyn. You knew about the Crips, you knew about the Bloods. For those of you a little bit older, y'all remember the Decepticons, right? The Nietas, the
Mhm.
Latin Kings. Like, my
Mhm.
point is, you didn't go putting on blue to go walk through the Blood neighborhood. I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that in high school. I wasn't no punk. I
You'll
wasn't
be
a chump.
dumb.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah, but we just knew
I'm not
better.
looking for that kind of smoke either, right? You dig what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like I went, you and me, we went to school, high school over in like the Latin King Nietas side, right? We
Mhm.
lived in
Mhm.
the Crips and Blood side, but we went to school over there. You
Yeah.
know, we didn't entice that stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, probably got a little older, junior, senior. I didn't care. I wear what I wanted, yeah, right. But
Yeah.
you knew what that came with. Is my point.
Yep.
You're not
Yep.
telling
You're
me that
right.
these Spurs fans is putting on these Spurs hood sports memorabilia, right? Coming through mobs of angry, passionate New Yorkers. You got to
Oh.
be looking for something. It's not about being afraid. It's just like, if you want to show how tough you are, you're probably gonna get beat up. And I'm not saying it's right, but at the same time, just be smart. You dig?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. Maybe you want that smoke. And if you do, I'm not gonna sit here and say I haven't worn New York Giants stuff in Philly Stadium. I have, right? And a
Mhm.
lot of people wanted to smoke. And then they looked at me and they said, maybe I don't, but I know I can't fight 30 guys either. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm
Yo.
saying? Like, I didn't go in there, oh, what's up? I'm that man. But
Never.
I went in there, watched my game. I ate my popcorn, drank my beer, and I had a good time. Giants won, and we went home. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
Mhm.
it's just,
Okay.
yeah, I don't condone it. That's all I'm saying. I don't condone the
Yeah,
violence, but
definitely
and
not. And then I
and
see like a lot of a lot of people on social media now is like, man, I can't stand New York niggas. I'm seeing a lot of that. I can't stand New York. Oh, how y'all there being there? I don't even care for the Spurs. I just don't like New York. I'm like, damn. I'm like, why they? I'm like, this
Hey,
is all
hey,
across America. I
let me
lived through that, you know, like,
let me tell
I
you,
don't live in New York, you know. I'm out of New York, but you know, it's just like I've been going through that my whole life, bro. Like,
bro. This is what we
I
say.
don't understand it.
Fuck them.
hey, what they say? Hey, what they say? First they love. Hey,
What they say on chat? What they say? I'm dead ass. You know,
I mean,
dead
real
ass.
talk. Like, yo,
Or suck my
first,
dick.
what they say? SMD. All I'm saying is first they love us, then they hate us, then they love us again. I mean,
Facts.
I've been all over this
Yo.
country, and you from New York, and they all hate me, but they hate me because they love me, and in the end, then we all friends anyway. It's like, yo,
Facts.
relax, like, yo, like,
Facts.
I
We
didn't
not
pick New
that
York. New
bad,
York, New
guys.
York
Yeah,
chose
we
me.
not
Not
that bad.
we are, we obnoxious now.
And
Come
and
on,
and,
man.
and,
Keep it.
and if we are, blame New York. Blame New York. The
We
concrete
had to
jungle.
survive
Blame
in
New
that
York.
jungle. Yeah, yo,
What?
it's funny
Nigga, it's
too.
a survival of the fittest
I
in this
was I was
bitch.
watching social media, and some dude was like, "Oh, these New York fans, they acting like animals." Da, da, da. And on my
Yo,
head, like, that's why they call it the concrete jungle.
the
Duh. Like,
concrete
how you
jungle,
think
bro.
we
Bro,
I be trying to
survived through this? It
explain it
was
to
bro,
violent.
people.
Like,
bro.
listen, I talk to friends now, and they're like, "Hey, remember when you was growing up?" And I'm like, "Nah, I ain't grow up like that. I grew up in New York. Things was different over here. Like, I
Yeah, I
couldn't
can't
do
even.
this. I couldn't do that.
I
Like,
Bro,
can't
oh, you did
relate.
that? Yeah, I can't
like,
relate. And like, I don't know what that's like."
there's a reason why they say if you make it there, you can make it
You make
anywhere.
it anywhere. That's
We're
a
not just
fact.
saying that just to big us up, nigga. It's a shit that you gotta go through, survive. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
New
That's
I
a
gotta
fact.
say it,
York.
Joe. Survival of the fittest. All right, man.
But
So I got another question. Go ahead.
yeah.
I got another question for
Mhm.
you, but go ahead.
No, I was just gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
you know what it is too. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people they don't believe. See, they don't believe like, oh, we really grew up like that. We really and we endured what we endured. Especially when they meet you, they like, nah, he's so nice. Da, da, da. Let me tell you something. When I grew up, I was going to the store for my mom's grandmothers and aunts from the age of 6 years old, and I'm crossing major avenues, and I'm going to the store five, six
See,
times. At
see,
11 years old, I'm jumping on the 4
Look,
train. I'm going over to Grand Army Plaza, meet my friends. We going to the library. We doing all these things. 11, 12 years old. Ain't no way I'm gonna have my
yeah,
kids at
he
six
was
years old
back.
walking to the store. Ain't no way I'm gonna have my kids at 11 taking 2 buses and a train to go
I'm
hang out with
scared
their
now.
friends. It's like it's a
what?
different world we living in. But I'll tell you this: we were more prepared for it. We were more street savvy. We had to be. That's just what it is. That's New York for you. You know
You
what I
have to
mean?
grow
Yeah,
And
up
because
fast. You have to grow up
definitely.
fast.
you didn't have a choice. At 10 years old, everything I did in New York City and how I carried myself and how I lived and what I knew ain't much different than when I was 25 years old in regards to like how I moved and how I saw things. You had to grow up fast, and that's just what it is. If you don't survive, you know?
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
So
Mm-hmm.
okay. So the
Definitely.
question I have for you. So as a, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Lakers fan since Kobe got drafted. But everything
I love
else, I'm New
Kobe.
York. My
Still a
brother,
Yeah,
fan.
he
my
does
my brother,
Kobe.
my brother Joseph right here. I have to give him the credit. You got the Giants. Like he installed that in me because I didn't have a team. I had the Lakers, but I'm like, I be feeling bad that when people talk about Knicks, and I'm like, I can't be. I'm like, man, fuck it. I got Lakers as my team. I'm gonna stick with that. But everything else, I'm New
It's
York.
New
So
York.
that's why,
All right.
yeah. You could say I'm a bandwagon. I don't give a fuck. Nigga, I give that place a lot of time, a lot of my blood. Like that place teach me a lot of shit, nigga. You crazy? I gotta represent that shit. So yeah, brother. So this is my question. As you guys,
Right.
y'all been in the country before me, and been a Knicks fans longer than me. Who's the greatest Knicks that you ever seen, and why? And I know you mentioned Patrick Ewing earlier. I like Patrick Ewing, but my ass was in Hades
Oh
too.
man.
Then the greatest Nick.
Did
Yeah.
I give you my top three?
Uh,
Yeah.
Wait,
let's start
let
with
me see
one.
the
Let's start
stats
with
real
one.
quick. Let me see stats real quick. I know who I think, but I just want to see where his stats
All
is
right.
at.
The thing about it
Uh,
is like the Clyde Frazier and those guys before our time. Of
nigga,
course,
don't
we
give
didn't
me
get
don't get
watching it.
nothing. Don't give me nothing you didn't witness. I want
But I ain't
something you
gonna lie,
witnessed.
like me watching, my favorite Knicks is
Yeah.
it gotta be Brunson, Carmelo, and Ewing. Those are my three favorite
This
Knicks.
nigga, this
I
nigga
will
said Brunson first. He said Brunson first.
I
growing
mean,
up, growing
it
up.
don't matter. However you put it,
I know,
it
I
don't
know, I know,
matter.
I know. I'm just fucking with you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Calm
yeah,
down,
yeah,
New
yeah.
York.
But like,
New York,
those are
relax,
my
New
top
York.
three.
Okay, your
Well,
top
I
three.
mean, growing up, being, I guess, being Jamaican, right? Being a New Yorker,
Shout out to Jamaica. But,
right?
but,
Oh,
but.
you mean, yeah, man. But
Yeah,
like
man.
Patrick Ewing for sure is gonna be one of my top three
Yeah,
always.
Ewing
I
is up
mean,
there.
champion all the way around. His
Ewing is
numbers
up
also
there.
prove that. Definitely one of the greatest ever to play the game for me. As a Knicker.
Real
Um,
Yardman, too. Real Yardman.
Yo,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously I had a thing for the John Stark Spark, right? In the 90s when he
nah.
was just relentless. I
Starks
loved
was
him for that.
Starks
But
was
I
that
couldn't
dude.
I couldn't call him one of the greatest Knickers ever. As much as I loved him. Like I loved as a kid growing up in elementary school, I'm like, well, junior high school, John Starks was my man. So after Ewing, I'm gonna have to go with Melo. Melo gonna be my man. And then of course I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson. But I'm gonna say my favorite Knickerbocker. Obviously, I'm trying to think of all the many decades of my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grew up
Yeah.
as a definitely grew up as a Ewing fan as the best Knicker. Bernard King was the man too though. I went back, I watched his videos. That
And
dude was
see,
tough.
those are the
Um
guys I don't really know about. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. I went back. Like being such a fan of the game and such a student of the game. I went back. I watched a lot of the 70s, a lot of, even 60s basketball. I watched it. Bernard he was like that. He was definitely like that. But I'm gonna give it to Ewing, Melo and Brunson. I know Brunson right now is gonna do something neither one of them ever did for us, so he will always be
Yo,
forever,
yo,
forever the
yo,
champion. But
yo,
I'm gonna say my favorite
Brunson,
Knicker ever.
Brunson,
Yeah, my
Brunson,
favorite nigga ever is gonna
Brunson.
be Melo. I'm gonna say Melo for my favorite ever,
I mean,
my
Yeah,
all
it's so
time
it's so
I
ever.
ain't
funny.
gonna
I can't lie. It was a good moment to have him come to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I wish he was part of that squad now,
I ain't
but
gonna lie,
it
bro.
felt good.
He's my
There's something
favorite.
about Melo.
Let
I
me
don't know.
tell
It's
you,
just the way he carry himself. You know what I'm saying? I
that
mean,
dude,
I
come.
like an overall player. You know what I'm saying? But
Right,
it's something
I'm,
about him that I really like the way he carry himself, and then he a
mhm,
New Yorker. He don't live too far from New York. I think it's Maryland. He's
right.
from Baltimore, something
He
like that.
from actually he's from New
he's
York.
from Red Hook.
His family's from New York. He's from Brooklyn.
Hmm.
He went to be more. I think when he was young, his mom brought him up there and they played whatever. But
I
his
think they're
ties
from
is
Cuba too. I think it's Puerto Rico,
right.
something like that. Had
Yeah,
to do
something
with
like.
that
But his
too.
ties has always been to Brooklyn, to New York at least. His ties has
Yes,
always
I
been to New York.
remember
At
before
least
they
that's
made
my
that deal.
understanding.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted to come back home. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know exactly where, but I know he said
Uh,
that he was coming back home. But I
another
think for me,
thing,
Melo is it for me just because he was probably the only star I ever seen that not get star calls. Like never. Like Melo don't get the superstar calls like everybody else. He just never
Yeah.
got that same love, and he was always just a dog. Like how many dudes was arguably probably the strongest dude on the court, but he can score inside, outside, mid range, in the
uh,
post, on the side. So like,
yo,
there's not a lot of guys that can do that. Like everybody
I
has their
never
niche,
wanted
but
Melo to leave.
Melo didn't have a niche. Melo could cross you. Melo, like if you put a small guy on him, he gonna put you in a post. He gonna hurt you. You put a big guy on him, he's gonna cross him. He gonna pull up, take you out to drown you. Like the dude was just overall just a strong, strong, phenomenal player, man. Like
But
salute to him.
salute. I gotta give Melo what Melo deserved, but I
Mhm.
have to get on his ass as well. My nigga, don't play defense, bro. And that's one of the things I feel like they don't give him enough credit. He don't play defense. And that was one of the things I had problem with. I'm like, Melo, we
Mhm.
like you, bro, but without defense, you can't win games. Play that little
Mhm.
defense you need to play and be open. That's all I need you to do.
So, Cat being our big man, right? Like, what you rate him as our big man, as our center? How you think he's doing? We got to
I
talk
think
about Cat.
I think Cat's doing a decent job. Again, I'm still getting used to today's big man, right? And opposed to the big man that we grew up with that was gritty, that didn't run, that didn't shoot threes, right? That you put in the
Mm-hmm.
post and right. So for the kind of big man that I guess that we're producing now for the sport of basketball, I think he's doing his thing. We lost him, right, to some of the games during the playoff
Yeah,
run,
yeah.
right? Like we didn't know where he was, right? I
Mm-hmm.
felt like he was on the side eating popcorn with me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like he showed up. He showed up when we needed him the most.
Yeah, he
He
did.
attacked, right?
He
And
did. He
I mean,
did.
I don't have anything crazy to say about Cat. I think Cat is doing what Cat needs to be doing at this point right now. And as long as he continues to do that, me and him is good.
Yep, yep.
So
And I don't know too much Knicks big man that I just got Ewing and I got Cat as my top two big men that I watched with the
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
Knicks. You know
Yeah.
what
don't
I'm
Yeah.
forget
saying?
about Stoudemire though. Amari.
So start my power forward though.
Yeah, yeah.
Cat.
I mean, he
Yeah,
plays
Cat
well,
plays
center.
both. Cat
yeah.
plays
All
Yeah.
right.
both.
So I
Cat plays
damn.
five
So
and a
you put
four.
Stoudemire over Cat?
Stoudemire in his prime.
In his prime, or what we talking about? Prime
Yeah, in his
Stoudemire?
prime, or the
No, we're
Knicks
talking about
starter.
Knicks. Knicks. What
I
he did
don't.
for the Knicks.
Oh, what he
I
did
don't
for the
think.
Knicks? Nah, no way.
I don't think it was enough what he did. He did his
Nah,
thing,
nah,
but I don't think it was enough.
nah.
Yeah,
By
and
the time,
that's why
by the time he reached New York, he was already a little banged up, though, right? If I'm
Yeah.
not
he
mistaken.
Yes.
was.
Yes.
He was on
Yeah,
Yes.
his
He
he'd already
was.
gotten his injuries and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely was. And like another thing, like I felt like around the time when Melo was with the Knicks, all that super team stuff was just, boiling
was
up.
taken
And I feel
off.
like that's why Melo never really got to get a ring or even get in the finals or anything. I feel like if Melo was in an even league where like it wasn't no super teams, I felt like he could have gave us a good chance. We could have went further, you know?
Right, right, right,
But
right.
he really ain't
Yeah.
go nowhere
I
because he
mean,
had
I felt like, and I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I feel like around that time, Melo had a good supporting cast. He had a
Mm,
great, he had a great coaching staff. But I just felt
Mhm.
like there wasn't any support from the higher ups. Like, I mean, you got J.R. Smith, you got Shumpert, you got Stoudemire doing what he was doing, Melo. We had decent
Chauncey
guards,
Billups.
right? Chauncey, you know what I mean? And then we finally made the playoffs, right? Like we were like doing terrible, terrible, and then boom, all of a sudden we're in the playoffs. I felt like rather than dismantle that team, they should have kept that core group and built around it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
mhm,
what happened right there? Because we had that spark. We had a coach that was doing it. Who was it? Woodson? And Woodson
Mhm.
was building us, man. And he did a great job. And then, his reign was short. I didn't
mhm,
get that. It really was disappointing, you know? I
mhm.
don't know.
How do
All
you
right.
feel when they got rid of Thibodeau last year? I was like, damn, he actually got us in the playoffs. He got us looking good. I was like, why
I
they got
mean,
rid of him?
he's a good coach. I can't take that away
Yeah,
from him.
I don't see anything wrong with Thibodeau. I didn't have a lot of negative things to say about Thibodeau.
It's
I
just
had some
that hump.
questionable things here and there, like things that he called, like with a few seconds left in the game, and I'm like, bro, like, what are we doing?
Hmm.
Like that, a team is making a certain kind of run. You don't call a timeout. You don't try to regroup. You just watch your team piss away 20-point leads, or like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like sometimes that kind of confused me as a player, as a former player, as a coach, as a current
Hmm.
player, however you want to look at it.
Hmm.
And the one thing I will say that I didn't like about Thibodeau was that I spoke about it earlier is he didn't empower his bench. He didn't really use his bench like that. He burned his big
Hmm.
men out. He burned his star players out. He burned his starters out. And his bench, it's like he didn't have any trust in them. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna sit there and say that because of how he utilized them or how he did not utilize them, we should say.
Yeah,
Is
Hmm.
like
yeah.
I don't want to judge the man, but your actions
Uh,
spoke for itself. You didn't use them
well,
at all.
You
I
feel
And it's the
like
same bench. It's the same bench. And all of a
right.
sudden they're producing, they've done so much. So it's like, what was the difference? One
you,
coach empowered them, one coach didn't. It's that
you
simple.
feel like
Uh,
you feel like Thibodeau got a little bit of the Mark Jackson thing, like he kind of built the team. Like even though Mark Jackson built the Warriors, with like everybody there with like
Oh, you
Curry,
don't
Thompson,
gotta
and then
explain.
and
I
then they
know.
got rid of
I know.
him.
I know. I
well,
know
And then
before
they
exactly
you say
what
got
you're
rid of
saying.
anything,
him.
before you say anything, Billy, answer that question. I feel like Joe, um, the difference Thibodeau and Mark Jackson. I feel like Mark Jackson built that team
Yeah,
and
Mhm.
left it
but
the way it was. Because we feel like even if he was there, if he wasn't there, whoever next on the job as a coach would have taken them that because that team was that great. But
it's
Thibodeau came and found those players there, and then he had to do what he had to do. And to answer your question, to add to what you were saying earlier, Billy, I feel like since Chicago, he was like that. He will burn all his starters. Not that you said that. He will burn all these starters
Mm-hmm.
and don't play his bench people
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then that's
Yeah.
what you need as a coach. You need to have that confidence on your bench, knowing that these guys gonna come and take on the task. You know what I'm saying? But you're right about
Yeah.
that. You're right,
Nah,
definitely.
I agree with Reggie. I feel like
Mhm.
well, I agree with Reggie. I do feel like he burned out his players. But to answer your question, no, I don't think that they Mark Jackson him at all. I think Mark Jackson built that team from
Mm-hmm.
scratch. I'm talking
Scratch,
he got all the ingredients and mixed it up in a bowl
scratch.
together, put it in the oven, and right before it said ding, they was like, "Yo, you out of
Boy,
here."
I
Hey,
already
And,
hey,
know,
Steve
and
Kerr.
Charlie.
They said, "Hey, Steve Kerr, here's a championship. Kick rocks." Like
Yo,
that's
right?
what happened.
and guys,
Thibodeau
while we
didn't
on
do
the
that.
name, he's a Nick too. Used to be a Nick.
Yup,
Mark
yup,
Jackson. Shout
yup,
out to
yup,
Mark
yup,
Jackson.
yup, yup.
That used
Yeah,
to be
Yes.
a Nick. Mark Jackson.
Mark
Mark
Shout out to
Jackson.
Jackson.
Mark
Yeah.
Jackson. My ass
Um,
probably was in
Okay.
Haiti then. You guys might know more, but I know he was in the Knicks.
He
but
wasn't Nick.
but
He wasn't
he
Nick.
was a
He
Knicks
was a Nick.
fan, number
Yep.
13,
And
if
then,
I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
sir.
Yeah,
I know him, when he was playing for the Pacers, I want to say. He was playing for the
trying to
Pacers,
Yep.
torch
right?
Yep.
us. He was
Yeah. Oh
killing
Yeah, he
man.
us.
played for the Pacers as
That's
well. Mark
that's the
Jackson.
young bull right there. He was young.
That's
New York
him and Derek
native,
Harper going at it.
New York
Um,
native. I
Yeah.
think
but
his brother was Cadillac?
yeah, his brother was Escalade. Right.
Escalade on the N1. Yeah, his brother
Uh huh.
played for N1, the big dude that played basketball. Rest in peace. I think he passed.
Yeah, he did. He had a heart attack a couple of
Okay.
years back.
Yeah, that
Um,
was his
but
brother, bro.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't think Tom Thibodeau got Mark Jackson. This is the exact same team he had last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I mean, did we add anybody new? Trying to think.
Yeah,
Uh,
Shamit
Shaman was
Alvarado.
there last year.
Oh,
Shaman
Shamit
was
was
there
there
last
last
year.
What
year.
was that shit? What was that
Yeah,
last year? I remember.
So
yeah.
I just want to say Alvarado, maybe.
He didn't play Alvarado though, did he?
Nah,
Alvarado came this
No,
year.
no, it came this year.
Oh, he came
I
this
think
year.
I think he came
Um,
right after
yeah, but
Brunson.
that
No,
wasn't a
Brunson was
coaching
already
thing.
there.
We'll look at it this way. Thibodeau don't play his bench players, and Alvarado was probably what number 13, 14 on the bench. He didn't play a
Mm-hmm.
lot throughout the season, depending on what we needed. I felt like Alvarado pulled himself up off that bench and got on that court on his own hard work. It had nothing to do with coaching.
He
He
did.
just
He
proved
is a hard
he
worker,
proved
bro.
yeah, he
He
proved to
hustles.
people that he belongs where he's at. Like shout out to Alvarado. I think that's
Facts.
all him.
Facts.
Nah. When he
That and
got on
having a
there,
coach that empowers the bench.
oh yeah,
You
Yeah,
dig?
he hustles.
this
He's
guy turned
definitely an
up.
important
He
piece.
bring the energy, and I guys, me and Joe
Right.
had a clip on him. Like this man is gangster. Look the last play. He was on
Well,
the
he a New Yorker. You
homie
already
Wimby.
know.
He was
Yeah,
on
He a New
he
Wimby.
ran
Yorker.
Wemby. He was hitting Wemby. I was like, yo.
It's like, nigga, you big ass giraffe, nigga. You could do whatever you want to do. I'm on your ass.
WWE move.
Bro.
They
So
was
I
like,
got
yo,
a
what are you doing?
question now. Okay,
All right.
as a coach,
Right.
right? So what lesson do
Right.
you think is young people need the most today? Because we're in a different generation, and I'm not seeing what we used to. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important for me to ask you that because you work with a lot of youngins. And what lesson do you
Right.
really think young people need most today?
I could tell you right now, for me, coaching the younger guys is tough. It's very tough because they're nothing like us. They don't think like us. They didn't go through what we went through in any capacity of the word. And so the one thing I learned as a coach, real quick, is you can't teach heart. You just can't. You can't teach having someone show up and wanting to get it. It just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Got it
So what I
right.
do teach, because I can't teach heart, is I teach hard work, discipline,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and very little celebration. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
let them know that when they come in, this is your pride. Like you show up, I need respect, and you need to demand respect. And there's only one way you're gonna demand it. You got to show up. You got to put in the work, and you got to
Mm-hmm.
prove that you deserve that. So the biggest lessons I teach these kids now, these younger men, is discipline, showing
Mm-hmm.
up and working hard, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's something that they can use and utilize not just in basketball but life itself. And it's crazy because like you casually coach these kids, you casually try to instill these lessons, and you're thinking year after year, class after class, graduation class after graduation class, like is not being instilled, or they don't get it, or whatever, or maybe I
Mhm.
don't, you don't touch them mentally and emotionally the way you think you do. But
Mhm.
it's rewarding to know, like, a year later, 2 years later, your former players, they're in college or they're playing pro here or this, and they're reaching back out to you like, yo, coach, I appreciate you.
Mhm.
Like, coach, everything you said, everything, it resonates in my head. I live by it.
Mhm.
I wake up every morning because of this. I look myself in the mirror like you tell me to, and they're like, hey, I ask myself, what do I need? What do I want? How do I get it? How do I show up? It's just
Mhm.
like that's the rewarding part, knowing that I'm teaching discipline, I'm teaching showing up, I'm teaching hard work, and that you use that and you utilize it throughout your whole life in every capacity, in every room, in every courtroom, in every basketball court, in every tennis court, in every
Mhm.
doctor's office, whatever your challenge is, you show
Mhm.
up, you work hard, and you'll see the results. And to have these kids, sometimes, they don't call because, today's youth, they don't really talk much, right? But they'll text you these
No.
Bible verses of, hey, coach, I want you to know this. And I love you, man. I appreciate you.
Mhm.
And,
That's
you
what's
bump
up.
into them in the street and these are grown men like now, and they
Yeah.
picking you up off, hey, coach, man, I love you, man. Like, you don't know how much you helped me. And I'm just like, I didn't know,
Mhm.
because I just stayed
Yeah.
consistent to the recipe, right? The recipe was, we gonna work hard. We're
Mhm.
not playing no games. We're gonna show up
Mhm.
every day,
But
and yeah, I'd say
And
that's the
that's
that,
lesson I
good.
teach them all.
you know what I was
Um,
gonna say, Joe. I appreciate you bringing the discipline part of, because that was gonna be part of
Right.
my question as well. Because nowadays we see the new generation, not all of them, but it's like they looking for the easy way out more. Like they rather go to the shortcut. Even in school
Mhm.
nowadays, you know what I'm saying? They rather go through the
Mhm.
easy route more than actually put in the work and develop a good skills that they do really have. And then the next question I have for you is like, do you think discipline has become a lost art? Discipline,
I don't.
because go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's
And how do
lost.
we bring it back? I'm sorry. How do
Yeah,
we
yeah,
bring
yeah.
that back?
Right,
How do we
right.
bring that
So,
back?
here's the thing. I don't think it's lost. I don't think
Okay.
discipline is lost.
Mhm.
I do think it is no longer instilled in many of our youth. I do
yeah.
think that it is no longer a necessity for many of our youth.
Mhm.
Myself, I feel like I'm just as guilty as this, but I feel like we grew up so hard and
Mhm.
grinding for so much and having so much
Mhm.
appreciation for everything, that when we got our own youth, we didn't want them to work that hard. So they didn't.
Mhm.
Like, they didn't need to earn everything as the way we needed to earn things. They didn't need to save for everything the way we needed to save things. And that in itself, creates a different kind of generation. But to sit here and say that discipline is lost, I can't say that, because, like I said, on the court, in those practices, I instill discipline, and I see where it manifests itself. I see where a kid who's been handed everything, got all the latest Jordans or LeBrons, and they have everything, and mommy's bringing me Chick-fil-A for lunch in high school, and you're like, what? Like, I've seen those kids.
Ooh.
I've seen those kids show up and learn my lesson of what discipline is. I've seen them learn the lesson enough to put enough work in that separates them from the other privileged kids. And they like,
Mhm.
man, I put in a
Mhm.
5 out of the 10 coach asked me for, and I saw me over Tom and Harry and Larry three
Yeah.
steps over. And that's
So
because I put
sometimes,
5 in. So they're like, dang, if I put the 10 in that coach is asking me, I know I'm gonna pass these guys. I've seen where I've instilled that in practice after practice after practice. And on practice 9 on week 8, they accomplished the thing that we were working on, and they're looking at me like with tears in their eyes. I've seen them cry. I've seen them run over and hug me in a game, and they're like, Coach, I did it. Like, everything you said, it worked. I'm like, hard work and discipline, hard work and discipline. And I've seen some of those kids take those lessons and utilize in other aspects of life. So I don't think it's lost. I just think, how do we fix it? We got to do it one by one. We have to do it intentional. We gotta pull back all the privilege, man. We gotta pull it back. They gotta
yeah,
earn
put
some
all that
things. They
easy
gotta
stuff
work.
away. Let them learn
They
how to
gotta work.
grind. So,
Mhm.
Knicks about to win the finals, God's willing, right? Next year, you
Mhm.
think this is a team good enough to pull a two-peat or a three-peat? Well, no, not as a Knicks fan,
As a Knicks
realistically.
fan, we win in the next
No,
20. You
I
already
know
know.
we're gonna be like, hell yeah, yo, we got 5 more. We got 5 more. Realistically.
I mean, I
So,
mean,
so
it's
I go
possible.
ahead, Rich.
No, no, I was gonna say
Anything
it's
is possible.
possible. It's possible.
Anything is possible.
It's like, I guess it's the reinforcement. I guess
All
the
right.
little things that you see that lack. that you probably reinforce
All
it.
right.
And
All right. Okay.
This is what I'll
Realistic,
say.
right?
So you want me to
Okay.
you
Realistically,
want me to answer
think
the
about
question
the
or not?
league. Think about the
okay,
league. Think about
okay.
a
Do you want me
healthy
to answer the question or
Celtics
not?
next year, huh?
Do you want me to answer the question or not? You asked me the question. You want me to answer it?
Yeah, I want y'all to be
Go ahead.
realistic, though.
All right.
I'm putting
So,
stuff in there
so
for y'all to really think. Think
stop. You
about
don't
the
need to put
league.
nothing in there for me. I know the league.
All
So what
right.
I'll say is this. I do think within the next 3 years, if we stay how we are, that we're
Mm-hmm.
competitors. I think we will compete the way we did for the last 3 seasons. 100% we're competing.
Yeah, I feel like Eastern
Um,
Conference Finals at least 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with that said, though, I have to take in consideration that all the other teams are also learning. They're also getting experience. They're also regrouping, right? So teams like the Celtics, they're going to be healthier. They're going to
Yeah.
mesh better. They're going to be better. Cleveland has been in the same position, what, 3 seasons in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Elite records throughout the season, dominating team after team, and then playoff
Yeah.
time, they're not clicking. That's going to change. It has to, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I do also think that obviously we know the West is tough. You got OKC, you got Denver, um, you got Houston coming through the ranks. You got all these different teams that can probably make this great run. And then you look at teams like Detroit, who's just young. They're dogs. They are
Mm.
dogs. Detroit is a
Yo,
scary team, but they're
Detroit.
just
Yeah.
young. They're just young. That's all it is. This coach, they fired him, but let's be honest, Detroit was nothing, and he built them from something. He continued to build them, and they he was able to finish number one in the East. I think Detroit is going to be a scary, scary, hard team. But the
You
team
think
that
so?
to, that I fear the most as not being that's not. I'm a Knicks fan. Believe it or not, in the next 3 to 5 years, is the San Antonio Spurs. Like,
I,
Yeah.
I think
like,
I
let me
think you
tell
give
you
I
something.
think you give them
Let,
too much and too
let me
much
tell
love.
you
I think
Yeah.
they're
something.
right
Let
there.
me tell you. They are a young team. Harper is, what is he? Second year, first
Yeah.
year,
Harper, no.
right?
This is
He's a
first year.
dog, right? You got Castle, who's a budding all
That's
star.
my guy.
He's gonna
That's
be
my
an all
guy.
star, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to your boy in Georgia, Joe, right?
Yes. Yes,
And then
Yeah.
and
sure.
then and then we got the face of the NBA, the new face of the NBA. LeBron's gonna pass him the torch, right? So like, it's like those guys are just young. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Um, and they got a good coaching staff. So it's like, this is our year. We get this win. But after that, it's gonna be way harder.
Yeah.
Way
Wemby
harder.
Wemby
Way
said
harder.
something that made a lot of sense. Wemby was like, he's like, we're actually spoiled right now because we're so young and we made it this far. Like some people don't even make it this far this young. So he was like, we're actually, we're gonna go in and do what we can, but we're actually being spoiled right now because a lot of people take more time to make it to the finals and stuff. I was like, yo, he's right. That makes
Right.
sense.
Right. Is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the reason why in 3 to 5 years, I see Wemby having 2 or 3 chips. Right. Is the reason why like teams like OKC, when they were in that same position. I don't know if you remember, they were fighting for the NBA finals. They were fighting to get into the and to become Western Conference Finals. OKC with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, like they were so young, and I think the organization forgot that they were that young and that they were doing
Yeah,
what they were doing, and they
yeah,
dismantled them. But if they had kept that team together and chose to pay, that franchise would have probably had like 5 or 6 rings. And I could even go far as back as like Penny and Shaq. Penny doesn't get hurt and Shaq don't get traded. Orlando, they got their asses handed to them in the finals, but it's like they had a phenomenal
yeah. That was a
season,
good team.
right? And then everybody made it seem like they're not. You got Nick Anderson and Dennis Scott, Mr. 3-point shooter. Like, they had a
Brian Shaw.
squad. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They had a squad, man. They had a squad. So I don't see the Spurs losing all those players. I don't see them dismantling their team. I
yeah.
see
The
them
Spurs
growing. I
never
see
do
them.
that. That's one.
I
Listen,
see.
this
I
is
see them getting stronger. I see them
Yo,
getting better. I see them going all the way. So that's the
that's
team that I
one
worry
thing
about.
about the
But I
Spurs,
do see us
bro.
contending. I see us contending for another finals. Whether we get one is it's not going to be as easy as this one. I'm not saying this one is easy because it's not, but it's going to be
Yeah.
way harder moving forward unless we
what I
build
was
something too.
what I was saying, Joe, to Joe is that I feel like Knicks gonna win the championship because not only because I'm for the team, is because I feel like those guys don't have that experience yet. They getting it now. That's why they're gonna come back 2, 3 years later and then
Yeah, they
be a
get it
problem.
now.
The
Yeah.
experience means a lot. You know, the
Mhm.
squad we have, those guys for the past 3 seasons, we've been in
Yeah.
the, you know, we got close.
We're
This is the
right there.
closest
We're
we
right
ever been.
there.
You know what I'm saying? So that
Last
matters a
year
lot.
too, we almost was about to get in there.
That's what I'm
Last
saying. The past 2, 3 years. So I have 2 questions, but it's for you and Joe as a Nick fan, and then y'all tell me what's the craziest Knicks moment you ever witnessed, and then what's the most New York thing you ever see.
year. All right.
Whew. All right. Well, you want to go
Well, I
first? I
could go.
know
I
my
could go.
craziest.
I'll go first since I don't know. Joe, you give me the answer the other day. I told you, bro.
Yeah.
You remember the guy that I forgot. He's always forget when he hit that three. It was around
LJ.
Larry
LJ.
Johnson, grandmama. Yeah.
LJ.
bro,
LJ.
bro,
The 4 point
bro.
play.
Bro, yes, I've
Yeah.
never. Well, first of all, it's certain things that's not supposed to happen. I mean, God made it happen. There's certain things. As human, we don't see it happen unless it happens, right? That was a moment for me, bro.
Mm.
9/11. That's the most craziest shit I ever seen in my life, you know. And then rest
Yeah.
in peace to all the families that got lost on the 9/11. But yes, that was my experience. So you guys tell me what's the craziest moment you ever witnessed.
All right. So for New York Knicks, obviously I've seen a good portion of them, but I'll say what my favorite is. I don't know if it's if it's the craziest,
Okay, all right, it can
but
be
it would have
crazy.
been when John Starks went off in the playoffs against the Bulls and he dunked on Jordan and Pippen. To
Oh
me,
Yeah.
that was the
yeah,
craziest, the
That was
wildest.
good.
yeah.
When they was calling him Ed Starks and everybody had the poster, and I'm like, yo, like that was the moment where I was like, yo, I like this dude. I rock with John
Yeah,
Starks. Like, dude just wasn't
little
afraid. He
guy.
just, yeah, he just posterized them. Like nobody
Yeah.
saw it coming. It was wild to me.
Mhm.
And
I agree.
obviously I was in the city during 9/11, and I was able to see the bodies jumping off the building from where I was at. I literally witnessed that with my own 2 eyes. And I'm like,
Ah,
I was far enough to not realize what it was. I'm like, what are those things in the smoke? What are those things in the smoke?
ah,
And it wasn't until after, and then I looked at the actual news tape, I realized that those were human beings.
ah.
But outside of obviously 9/11, for me, the next
Mhm.
thing would have been the blackout of 2003. Um,
Yeah,
so I just
I
left the
remember
gym
that
and
too.
I'm going down into the subway station, right? And I left work early and was gonna go home, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hang out and hit the gym first. And I'm so glad I did, because I'd have been
Mhm.
stuck on that train. As soon as I take one step into the subway, it went black, like complete black. And then you heard screaming, all the screaming, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? So I proceeded to start walking to the next station where I realized that was black, until I realized we're in a blackout. And I went from walking in Midtown Manhattan to walking all the way home to Brooklyn. And I made it home. I don't know, it was like 12 miles, 10 miles. I don't know.
Mhm.
I walked home that night. And when I got home, I got to my grandmother's house over on Snyder, and right before it turned dark, and everybody, or my whole family, I guess we all migrated there, like trying to get from the city, get from everywhere. We all ended up right there, and
Mhm.
it was the wildest time for me because dudes was getting robbed, people were getting, other things, assaulted, let's say. And I'll just never forget the night. And what was crazy is it was hot. It was summertime. It was real hot. And that's when debit cards was big. Dudes stopped walking around with cash. And everybody was
Mhm.
trying to buy water. They was thirsty, and everybody was worried about not having water for their families. And dudes, like, New York, this is New York for you, is a blackout. The blackout's been lasting 10 minutes so far. It's just been 10 minutes in the blackout. You already had dudes that found bottles of water selling on the corner of the street. $8 a bottle, $8 a bottle, $10 for one bottle of water. I'm talking the normal Polar Spring bottle. And I'm like, look at New York. Like we not coming together completely. Like, dudes is finding a way to make money during
Mhm.
a blackout with people dying of thirst. I bought a bottle of water like this big for like $13 off the street, and it got me home in the hot sun. To me, that was one of the wildest New York moments I seen growing up in New York. And I'm telling you, I got a lifetime of stories of violence and
Yo.
people
Shit,
doing
I
all sorts of
bet.
wild stuff. But for me, that had to be one of the
Uh,
wildest ones. I done 6 o'clock in the morning. I done been on a train, on the L train, going through all the hood, seeing two homeless people butt naked on a platform, just going at it like it's nothing, looking at you like, "Hey, what up, young fella?" Whatever. And like, I can't even say that like that's the only time I've seen it. I probably seen that like 15 times in my life in New York City. Like, it's crazy the stuff you see, man.
You,
I
Joe?
seen
You remember
people,
Joe?
Yo,
yeah, I seen some wild
I
stuff.
crazy Nick moment,
Yeah.
definitely. I ain't gonna lie, when Patrick Ewing back
Mr.
dunked
Layup.
on
Oh,
when he back dunked on Rodman, I couldn't believe that. Because it wasn't like a back dunk it was like he turned around from far away and was just going back like that. I was shocked he made it. That was that was the craziest Nick moment
And
to
the
me.
most New York thing you
That was
ever
my first
seen.
time seeing a back dunk, bro. Like I was like, yo. And then Juve, man. I'll never forget Juve.
Juve.
I was
I seen some
actually with
wild things on
Mama.
Juve.
I was with Mama, and there's a lot going on, and I always heard about Juve, Eastern Parkway. So this year, I'm gonna go to Juve with Mama. Mama walking with me, and I don't know what was going on, but it was a lot of shots. You could hear a lot of shots.
I
Like
wasn't with you. I feel like I was there that night.
you probably was. I think Viv
Yeah.
was there. I think she took
It was
all the
me,
boys.
you,
I don't know. There was a
Viv.
lot of shots and stuff going on.
Uh-huh.
So then
I remember it.
I forgot something happening. I don't know. I just saw Mama pull out the snub nose, a big gun like this, bro. I was like, she's like, don't worry, and holding us back with the snub nose. I was like, yo, you gonna, yo. I was always a safe kid in New York, but that was like wild to me. I was like,
Hey,
Your grandmother, huh?
I'm
Grandma
pretty
had the
sure. I'm
snub
pretty
nose.
sure when it comes to this show, we have so much to talk about, so much to cover about, right? And I'm pretty sure there's so much question. I hope we don't left out. So
Right.
now, Billy, not trying to get
Yeah.
rid of you, not trying to get rid of you, but we're on a time frame, right? So
Of
now I
course.
have
Yeah.
about 5 questions I'm gonna ask, but it's just multiple choice questions, right? And I'm
Okay.
gonna just give you one question, and you give me one answer, whatever that comes to your mind. You with me?
All right.
All right. All right.
All right.
One word that describes New York.
Relentless.
Relentless. Okay. Knicks winning the championship? Yes or no?
Yes. 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 And yes.
Favorite New York food?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay. Favorite New
Pizza.
York athlete ever?
Ah.
I gotta pause on that one.
I gotta think on that, man. Favorite New York athlete
Ever.
ever. I mean, given my city, given my era, given where I grew up, I'm gonna just go with Stephon Marbury.
Stephen Marbury. Ever?
Yeah. I mean, you know how much talent came out of New York City is like,
That's what I'm saying.
like
Not
but you got me on a time frame. It
disrespect.
was just
Right.
boop
No,
boop
no.
boop. I got to
It's
do it.
okay.
So, but I mean, yeah, I'm thinking, there's a lot of guys that I'm thinking of
I don't
like
have
that
one
came
in
out
my
of.
head, but I wasn't thinking Marbury. No disrespect to Marbury. Shout out to
No, no, no,
Marbury,
no,
by the
no,
way.
no. Well, who did you have? Oh, you don't have one in your head.
Nah, I don't think I
Um,
have one. Man, they got
but
you
we
know my
talking,
head
we
right.
talking,
My
we
my
talking about
Haitian ass.
born and bred
My
New York
Haitian.
City.
If I tell you where my head is at, you wouldn't believe it.
Ron
Pause,
Artest?
nigga. Nah, nigga. I was thinking Jackie Robinson. That's just where my head was at. And that wasn't even my time. I probably wasn't even born. I don't even think the nigga really
You never
made it in
seen
New
Jackie
York.
Robinson.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. Shit, my
Like,
Haitian ass.
what you know about
Yo,
Jackie
we talking about we
Robinson?
seen play. We
I'm
was
talking people I
fighters.
seen that I was like, yo, like
Well,
Steph was
remember
tough. Like,
they said New York ever. They said favorite New York
yeah,
athlete
yeah. I
ever.
mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I could probably give you a better answer than that, but
Okay.
out of the top of my head, it's gonna be Steph all day long. That
Yeah,
dude was a
he grew up. We
phenomenal
watched him
athlete.
play.
I watched that dude play.
Dribble skills
I,
was crazy. Like
yeah, yeah. I mean,
he
I know
was
who
a
he
big
is. I
don't
know.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of talent in New York that never made it famous. That would have ate up the
So,
league. But
so,
there's
so,
tons of them.
so, my thing is, if we're talking about Marbury, what about Spreewell? I think Spreewell had a
Spree,
better career
Spreewell
than
ain't from New York.
Marbury. I
He
He
ain't
is
mean,
from
not
New
from
York.
New York.
I mean,
You
favorite
said
New
you said
York.
New York. You said New York athlete, right?
Right, right. I mean, he played for New York before, so that makes him
Oh
a New York
nah, but you
athlete.
talking about
No,
who played? Nah, who played for
you
New
say
York
favorite New
teams
York athlete. You say favorite athlete, New York athlete ever.
from New York though? You talking
What?
from New York or
Well, the
nah?
question
You
is
talking
not
from
from. They said favorite New York
New
athlete.
York athlete?
Yeah, ever. That's why I'm
I
like,
don't
hey,
know. I'm gonna need to come back for that one. I'm gonna have to come
all
back.
Yeah,
Y'all gonna have to
right,
invite me again.
that's a
I'm gonna have to
lot.
think
brother.
That's
about
a
that one.
lot.
Hey,
That's a
it's already
lot.
sealed. It's already
That's
sealed.
a
Okay,
lot. That's a
last
lot of
question.
players.
Last question. You ready? What do you want people to remember about Billy?
Me?
Am I Billy? Joseph ain't Billy.
I thought you was asking him. Hold up.
Uh,
What do I want
what
people
do
to
you
remember
want
about
people to
me?
remember about Billy? What do you want? You know,
I
you're an
think I
actor, you're a
think
coach, you're a
I
family
don't need you to
man.
remember none of that. I really don't. Like, I don't do it for the glory, but I feel like no matter what my relationships are, whether they're family, loved ones, associates, co-workers, whatever it is, I feel like I've already accomplished what it is that I want everybody to walk away with when they think about me. And that's that one, I'm always gonna show up and you can always count on me. I'm here for you. And that's whatever capacity that I've allowed you into my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like every room I step into, once I get to talk to you and we get to knowing each other, no matter what kind of relationship it is, and no matter what grade of the relationship and how deep we are, that's the one thing you will walk around and say, like, yo, I know I can count on him and I'm gonna count on him to do exactly what he's supposed to do. He's gonna show up and he's gonna be there. And
Definitely.
however you take that. That's a fact.
Definitely, definitely.
That's
Yup,
what's up.
yup.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
He's right
Well,
on that. Another thing,
Joe, go ahead, Joey.
acting. What's
Mm.
hmm
going on, man? How's the acting thing going, Denzel? Like,
So, so between like the pro basketball stuff, the family
mm-hmm.
stuff, the work career stuff, I kind of haven't really been on much auditions. I haven't entertained some of the stuff that I have gotten. After that last writer's strike, it kind of
Mm-hmm.
shut me down for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely am working back to getting back out there, and I might be getting into something this summer. So we'll see. We'll see
Hey,
how that
Great,
works.
great. Yo,
hey,
I'll
Tyler
man.
keep y'all
Perry,
posted.
50 Cent. Yo, y'all sleeping. Yeah.
This is the
He
guy right
here.
here.
He's
This
a
is the
good
guy right
actor.
here.
Y'all
Yeah,
playing
man, Billy,
around, man. I'm
brother. I
dead
mean,
ass.
so guys, it's been a pleasure, Billy. I know we spoke numerous times off the phone. Now we get to share, our stuff with the world. This is
Right,
your
right.
podcast, your family. You know that, and you definitely be back. The fans definitely gonna see that. We love having you back. And I don't know if you have anything to say, Joe. You want to
Definitely,
say,
definitely.
Joe?
This was fun. This was great. Definitely got to do this again, Bill. You know I'm proud of you. Always
We
been your
we
number
we
one
we gonna do
fan.
it. We're probably gonna do it in a couple of days because Knicks gonna win, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. That's a
you might
fact.
be back, man,
That's a
because you know
fact.
we gotta do
Thanks,
one for the finals,
thanks, and
baby.
and then we could bring some of our people that we know that down with the Knicks. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Don't bring no haters though, man. Don't bring no haters, man.
Now
You
you
the only
should. You
hater that's
should.
allowed,
Hey,
man.
listen, controversy is good. That's good.
yeah,
That's entertaining.
I
Yeah.
guess,
you
I guess,
know.
I guess.
Bring one. Bring one. Just
Yeah,
bring one.
definitely, man.
That's all we can
This was
tolerate.
great.
Just one.
Yeah, brother. So yeah, we watch. This is the Good Bad Guy podcast, bro. Thank you for
Mhm.
coming in. I don't know if you want to share a few words, and yeah, this is it,
Hey, just
man. We
shout out to the
appreciate you, man.
Knicks. Shout out to the good bad guy podcast.
Yes,
Salute
sir.
to y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me. It's an honor as always.
Thank you,
Yes,
and it's been a
sir.